Good day, everybody! Woo! I am over my cold, if you didn't notice. Just about. And I wanted to do a video today, guys, on lovemaking, and the term we're going to use in this video is sex, which would mean animalistic pleasure. Okay, a lot of people are like, what? What did you say? Animalistic pleasure? What the fuck is that? Okay, I got the Book of Life here, and we're gonna go over this for free. And I talk about this in the Book of Life because when I started studying self-help, about a decade ago, from some of the top minds in the world, and had the privilege to apply it to my life, overcome depression, overcome suicide, near-death experiences that were caused just by recklessness, and eventually work my way up 30 jobs with amazing mentors along the way, very smart and bright people from all 30 jobs. And I went through a period in my life, and I don't really open up and talk about this a lot, because a lot of religions are like, you're going to be burned unless if you repent. And don't get me wrong, I've been reborn through the grace of, love, and through the grace of infinite life, and that's what life is, right? You learn from your mistakes, and you grow. That's how you evolve. That's how you grow as a person, or else, every 80-year-old would just be a little, adolescent baby, So I want to reflect on my personal experiences, and also throw in some spirituality from my, self-studies and my mentors, and what I've learned over the years and applied in my life. And the first thing is, guys, I talk about it in all my videos, okay? Go watch the video on self-love. Okay, I'm not talking about a dogma mask. I'm not talking about an ego where you think you're better than everybody, or how your dogma mask is supposedly, makes you better than everybody. No. I'm talking about a self-love, appreciation, respect, and love for your unique self. Every single one of us is a 400 trillion to 1 miracle. 400 trillion to 1. We were born as a miracle, and the reason why the life and the plants and the trees and the flowers all vibrate at 432 hertz, and you go out into nature, you feel perfect, is because that's our natural vibration. We're supposed to be vibrating on the vibration of love and the miracle frequency, the vibration of creation. This is the vibration of love that Jesus and the other prophets, Muhammad, Allah, all of them, people still use and listen to these miracle frequencies, curing cancers and diseases to this day. Go look it up on the internet. Okay, this is the era we're living in, and science is finally starting to catch up. They're how many years behind? 2,000 years? 3,000 years? So we're going to dive into a lot of theoretic and deep stuff in this video. And the reason we are the highest form of life. Okay? And we vibrate, like I said, at 400. We're supposed to be vibrating on these miracle frequencies, because through the vibration of love, this is what expands out life. But you have to truly discover your true self first from within. And when you truly discover your true self from within, then this is where you are able to contribute and give. Give, because you are now secure from within. You're able to give and push out love, and you receive love in return. Okay? But if you are insecure and you're wearing a dogma mask, an ego, okay, we're going to go out into society and you're going to try taking and taking to fill your insecurity. And I myself, for a while, I would have sex, 3 different people in 1 week. Go out and party in college, go to this party, go to that party, go to this club. And I had not discovered myself yet. I still did not know who I was. And I thought I was falling in love at the time when I had no idea who the fuck I even was. Realized we were just using each other to fill our insecurities. It was a constant power struggle. We were constantly fighting each other. It was not love. It was a fucking ego buddy relationship. And the sex, it never fulfilled. It was a temporarily relief, but it was never fulfilling. It was never meaningful. Even when I thought I was in love with my girlfriend, when I had no idea who the fuck I was and she didn't either. I mean, we were in it for months, over a year, and it was still empty. It was still empty sex. And the reason I want to talk about this is because not a lot of self-help gurus get this deep. Because they're like, oh, that's perverted. That guy's a pervert. He's talking about sex. And he wants to say that he's trying to run a nonprofit. But this is important stuff, guys. There's a lot of young people. And I went to the clubs. I got to see all the pastors and religious people there at the strip club. I'm not saying all religious people, okay? So don't try to distort my words. But I got to see older guys, paramedics, screwing around too. No idea who the fuck they even were. And when you discover, it was when I discovered my true self. I talk about it in my Dancing with Death motivational video. When I truly discovered myself like you guys will, or if you already haven't, then that is when I ended the unhealthy relationship. I said, hey, I love myself. I'm starting to discover who I am, and I have a vision of what I want to actually do with my life purpose. And go watch the video on discovering yourself if you want to get to that point, because that's a whole nother 15-minute video. But you are at 400 trillion to 1 miracle, and I embraced this. I repeated that affirmation, and I started to embrace my talents and my gifts, my unique experiences that made me, mature and wise as an individual. Everything, my laugh, just taking care of myself, giving myself the love I deserve is the highest form of creation, created in the Creator's image, whatever creator that may be to you. And I got to a point where I finally had a healthy relationship where we were not using each other. We were actually progressed, got to know each other, made sure we were actually happy and interested and attracted to each other. Then we actually talked and got to know each other's true selves. And then we got into a relationship. And it was so much more meaningful. So much more meaningful. And when you get to this point where you truly love yourself and you are truly love them, it's amazing how you're not it's not animalistic pleasure as in you're focusing on each other's bodies. You're actually focusing and appreciating the inner being of that person, what you love about them, and you are expressing that through the deepest form of connection. DNA is in sperm, DNA is in the egg, all of who you are. And science does not even scratch the surface of how deep this is. I mean, the Buddhists called this your sacral chakra for a reason, that is connected for a reason to emotion and creativity. Because it is all of who you are. Your entire inner being is right here in your sacral chakra. Emotions and everything. That's why even when I had empty sex and I had no idea who the fuck I was, I would still just afterwards, you get drawn and attached to that person even though you have no idea who the fuck they are or who you are, because that's how deep this stuff is. Okay, it's all of your being, all of your essence. If you want to, go, into just intellectual, one of the many pillars of life, there's so much more. There's imagination, there's spirituality, there's so much more. There's not just intellect, guys, okay? But DNA, if you want to just stop there, and there's a reason why I talk about this in the video on semen retention, okay? This is for males mostly, that athletes, professional athletes, okay, they learn after a while, they don't partake or release their life force or their sperm, ejaculate while they're competing, right? Professional athletes or collegiate athletes too even. They learn. If they want to have an edge and perform and have all of themselves, they don't. And there's a reason why. I mean, maybe people are like, oh, this is just common sense. It's not common sense anymore, guys. Common sense is not that common. And this is very deep. And when you truly love your inner self, you hold on and you protect this. You don't just give it away to some random person who doesn't even understand anything about this. Because why do they deserve this when you already love this, right? If you already love your true inner being and you truly love yourself, right? It's like, it's insanity. Why would I just give up all of myself to some random person? I already love myself. I don't need you. I don't need you. I already love myself, right? And this is what love making is, okay? And I talk about it in the book. I don't want to get, graphic or, perverted or anything like that. But I mean, guys, when you make true love from the heart and from within, it is 100 times more powerful than, it's 100 times more powerful. And these rappers and these people, they try to imitate love. They try to, slow their music down and pretend like they're making love. But it's empty. There's nothing on the inside. There's no true inner connection, no true inner love. So they're just using each other to mimic love, and it still doesn't fulfill them. But when you give love from within that is true and appreciation for that person, and you were receiving true love while you make love, it is 100 times more powerful. It fulfills you afterwards. You're not empty. You're not seeking. You're giving and you're receiving fulfillment and love that sticks, and that is 100 times more powerful. You can make a woman or a man shake if you know what you're doing through the vibration of love. I mean, you could have 4, 5, 6 orgasms easily if you know what you're doing through the vibration of love that actually fulfills. And I hope people understand the difference after watching this video. And the reason I talk about this is mostly for young people that are still discovering themselves. And like I said, I'll say it one more time, a third time. Go watch the video on discovering your true self and self-love, guys. Okay? If you're tired of throwing yourself around, if you're tired of emptiness, go discover yourself first. Everything in life starts with you first. You've got to give love and respect to get love and respect. It's that simple. But how do you do that? You got to give yourself true love and true respect first before you can give authentic love and respect out to the world, right? And this is very sacred. The Buddhists are light years ahead of us. When I'm working with Native Americans right now with the nonprofit for our Bridging Cultures documentary, people think of Native Americans as a bunch of Indians running around and they're doing their rain dance. But what they're really doing when they do their rain dance is they're practicing the law of attraction. Right? They're visualizing the rain coming and they're dancing. This was how many years ago, guys? They were already practicing the law of attraction. Your mind would be shattered. Your small monkey brain would be shattered if you learned of everything else the Native Americans practiced spiritually. There was a guy on a documentary on TV that got a sweat lodge cleansed by a shaman while he was fishing for 6 days or a couple days. This guy's one of the top fishermen in the world. He couldn't catch shit for 3 or 4 days straight. He went and got a cleanse by one of the Native Americans. Not a Native American, an indigenous person at that location. Guess what he caught the next day? You guys, like I said, this is deep stuff. And that is the most important stuff. Okay? The mind is half of spirituality. Because spirituality is really just energy, right? And the mind is what controls energy. And the top psychologist, right? If you want to go more intellectual, the top psychologists in the world, guys, they can teach you stuff that, I talk about in the Book of Life, paradigms and the subconscious mind, and how energy works and how energy flows, that will just blow a monkey's brain up. And it all starts with here. Guys, it's the most sacred thing we have as a creator. So protect it, love it, and cherish it. And when you get to a point where you truly discover yourself, it becomes that simple and that easy. So take care of yourself, guys. You deserve it. Love all of you guys.